saying to Nino in an earlier call that um, I understand that what he charges for his program uh, is definitely worth the money, for sure. The dollar amount itself, though, was daunting, at least for myself. And so I was hesitant in that regard. I also, uh, when uh, when we were sending emails back and forth, I noticed that his email had his date of birth, and so I did the math, and I'm like, okay, like not that Nino's, you know, too much younger than myself. He's a bit younger, and again, I was kind of like, like life coaching from someone who's younger than myself, like, is that going to work? So yeah, all I could say is the fact that he was younger than myself. Coaching was phenomenal. It did not matter at all. And as far as the money, yes, it's again, for myself, a good amount of money, but totally worth it. And like I was saying before, even after like the first 3 or 4 weeks, I was already happy with what I had and was just thinking like, okay, even if the program stopped right now, I would still consider I got what I needed from this, and everything else going forward is just bonus. And so, yeah, I'm very happy I did it. And, yeah, I would encourage other people to jump in and try it themselves. Whatever the price of Nino's program is for you, uh, I believe now is still the time to to go for it, or now's the time to go for it, because um, I could just tell Nino's going to go far. It's just a matter of years before he makes an even bigger name for himself. And with that, he's going to have more experience, and he's going to be able to offer even more. And with that, likely his price will go up. I just know that's what's coming. And, so get him now. Well, he's, well, the price is still what it is. I was like, okay, this guy is someone who has quite a good knowledge base on these sort of self-development, self-help, field, I would guess, if you would call it. I wasn't sure about the dynamic specifically between him and I. I mean, with a therapist or a coach, I guess you're sometimes a little bit, wondering whether or not you're gonna click, whether they're gonna understand what it is that you're trying to get across, and whether you're gonna be able to pick up what they have to offer you. Nino ended up being quite a knowledgeable person. The self-help, self-development aspect. He would just all of a sudden pull out like a quote over here, and like be able to, like, after our sessions, like send me a YouTube video on something we had like just talked about. And yeah, it was it was great. And as far as the personality, as far as him and I goes, it was great. We clicked very well, and I felt relaxed. I felt like I could share whatever I needed to share. He was very good at meeting the energy, validating, my thoughts and my feelings, but at the same time challenging them when they didn't necessarily um, uh, fit or serve me to have, which was nice, because he also did it in a very like uh, uh, thought out way, I guess. I mean, probably not thought out. For him, it's probably natural, but yeah, it was done in a very effective way, where it was gentle, but like enough to get the point across. Yeah, yeah. So with this, and I'd say one that stuck out was, I think it was like second or third week. We had just come off a session, and he sent me this link about, it was like Tony Robbins and this I guess he's a host, Theo, and they were basically just talking about how we have these self-sabotaging thoughts, and although they don't make us feel very good in a lot of ways, they can still be quite comforting to have. And yeah, there was something about that just kind of sunk in for me, and just created a lot of awareness around, what it is that I was doing. The other thing too is just throughout the program, just building my own compass and blueprint of who I am and my values, and how I want to carry myself and perceive myself, and the kindness and self-worth to know that how I see myself is important. Like, I mean, sometimes you might think to yourself, okay, well, if I think I'm the greatest, then so what? Like, I'm me. What would really be a lot of value is if other people thought I was great. But it's just funny how it just kind of, it's almost backwards. Like, it should really be, as long as you find the self-worth within yourself. And I definitely felt like that was, kind of, the message was getting hammered in there, every week. Just the weekly sessions, just really help with that, because you're talking to Nino about stuff that was troubling you in that week, or maybe you're digesting something that happened previously, but just week after week, just talking to Nino and having him sort of the like combat the self-saboteur in you, like the self-sabotaging thoughts. It was interesting to just have Nino just kind of wipe out the groundings in which that saboteur had its footings, and it would just kind of make you go, like, yeah, okay, I guess those self-sabotaging thoughts, don't have a lot of weight or strength behind them. If we rewind back to like the beginning, I was very, I didn't have a lot of self-worth. I was very, sort of indecisive and looking to other people for that sort of validation and direction. And throughout the program, just learning to trust myself and my own gut, and following my own set of values. And hey, you know what? If I think that this is the right thing to do, there's probably something to that, and I don't need to ask, however many people to confirm that, as long as it feels right within me. And I think, yeah, Nino definitely helped in sort of helping me trust my own gut and compass of action. I think the most helpful aspect of the program was that Nino's available in between sessions, that you can message him, you can send him voice notes, because sometimes you're at work, or some family thing comes up, or whatever. Something comes up right in the moment, and you're like, oh, like we're days away from our next session. But you know what's great? You just, open up WhatsApp, send a message, a voice note, and within 24 hours, Nino's going to respond to you. And yeah, it's that is helpful, because things come up all the time. Very smart. I'm very caring. Again, I knew that intelligence was going to be there by looking at the Instagram stuff. Like it's quite prevalent. And even like, you know what? Now that I've like had these sessions with Nino, the caring aspect also comes through with the feed. But yeah, I say he's somebody who really cares for people, really wants to help people, and um, yeah. So it's the combination of the two. He has a good knowledge base. He wants to help people, and he both of those things together. It's awesome. It was pretty smooth sailing. Just the journaling aspect with it is something that I struggled with a little bit. Well, more than a little bit, but I still feel, even despite the fact that I didn't journal as much as I could have, I still got a lot out of it. And I've talked to Nino about this too. I felt like even after the first like 3 or 4 weeks, I was like, all right, I've got my money's worth. Everything else from here is a bonus. Okay, so the changes within myself that I've noticed is I am more kind to myself. For me, internally, I think it was just being more kind to myself. We, I guess, tend to hold ourselves to some pretty high or impossible standards, and at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes, and it's about not beating yourself up too much or at all when you do make those mistakes. 'Cause then you're kind of, I don't know, it's almost like you're beating yourself up twice. You know, you've made the mistake, that sucks, but then after that, you're going to beat yourself up for it. So now I just kind of recognize I made a mistake that sucks, and I don't beat myself up over it as much, or even at all really, at this point. So that's what I've noticed within myself. Externally, I have heard feedback from others. Like I've had family members say like, wow, like I really, notice a difference. Even friends, have noticed a difference. Yeah, I feel like I even just have more confidence in how I carry myself. So yeah, it's been nice, the change. Yeah, you're a self-saboteur, better have some strong, legs to stand on because, Nino's gonna do his thing and knock him or her off her feet. I think no matter what the issue is, Nino's gonna meet you there. I think with all the books he's read, the experience he's had, um, the people he's helped so far, there's quite a lot of knowledge and experience behind him to guide people through most things, I would imagine.